Hey, how's it going? My name's Ben. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to play Stuck With You by Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber. There is essentially one chord progression that loops through almost the entirety of this song. There are two other sections which aren't difficult at all, and I'm going to show you those as well. Let's quickly start on the main part of the song. So before I get into exactly how to play it and the rhythm and things like that, I just want to quickly show you the chords that are in this song. The first one we have is a G sharp major. Bar chord here. So what we're doing with our first finger is we're barring the entire 4th fret. Our third finger is going to be on the 6th fret of the A string, our 4th finger on the 6th fret of the D string, and our second finger on the 5th fret of the G string. The next chord is a C minor. So our first finger is going to start on the 3rd fret of the A string and bar throughout the rest of the strings. Our third finger is going to be on the D string on the 5th fret, our 4th finger on the G string, also on the 5th fret, and then our second finger on the 4th fret of the B string. Then we move just up 1 fret from C minor up here to C sharp, but instead of a C sharp minor chord like I've got here, we're going to do a C sharp major, so we need to raise that minor third to be a major third. Now you can do it like this, or you can do it like that. I'm not really hearing this high E string in a lot of this song, so it's probably not necessary that you actually need to be hitting that. But for this C sharp major bar chord, that's usually the way that I do it. We've got our first finger on the 4th fret of the A string, and then we basically have either our third finger on the D, G, B strings on the 6th fret, or you can use your 4th finger, or you can use your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, like you would an A chord, but up here. Our next chord is an F minor. It's exactly like our C minor down here at the 3rd fret, but we're going to move it all the way up to the 8th fret up here. Our first finger is on the 8th fret of the A string. Our third finger is on the 10th fret of the D. Our 4th finger is on the 10th fret of the G string, and our second finger is on the 7th fret of the B string. And then our last chord in the main progression is a D sharp major chord. If you just grab your C sharp major that we did before and you move it up 2 frets, there's our D sharp major. So first finger on the 6th fret, and then you can bar the D, G, and B strings on the 8th fret with your 3rd or your 4th finger, or again, you can use your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Those are the chords for the first section of the song. Let's get into how to actually play it. So for this, we kind of want to position our right hand down here, right in front of the bridge, sort of over our bridge pickup of our guitar, kind of palm muting. You don't want to push down so that there's no note, but you just want to rest your hand there so you get that sort of that palm muting kind of sound. If you've never done palm muting before, it might be a little tricky at first, but you will get it, and it does sound really cool. So we're going to start with our G sharp major chord here, and we're going to start by hitting our low E string twice. And then we're going to strum the rest of the strings, probably not the high E. So as soon as you strum through, you can hit that low E string again, then you're going to hit the low E string again, and then strum through the chord. So like this. Essentially, we're going to do that kind of pattern on every single one of the chords, but there is kind of little passing notes in between certain chords. So for the first chord for the G sharp, we're going to go, you're going to kind of just run up the major scale, G sharp, A sharp, and C, okay? So that's going to sound like this. Okay, once we hit that next C note, that's when our C minor chord comes in. So the end of each run is sort of the beginning of the next chord. As you can see, the rhythm there is exactly the same as the G sharp. And then we just do 2 more C's after that last C chord. So that C minor sounds like this. Straight to our C sharp, and then we go like that. And this time we're going to go from C sharp to D sharp just before we hit our F. That's kind of the run there. So right, once we get to the F, this time instead of palm muting the chord and just kind of cutting it off and it being kind of staccato, we're actually going to let that chord ring out a little bit. So it's going to sound like this. 2 hits on that F. Let that rest of that F ring out. 1 more hit on the F before you go down to the D sharp. So, and then the same thing on that D sharp. And then back to G sharp to start it again. So that whole thing sounds like this. There is kind of a bridge section. I don't know if you'd call it a bridge. We are going to do 2 of the same chords that we've already done, but there is one sort of new chord. So instead of a C sharp, just a straight C sharp major chord, I'm actually hearing this flat 7 in there, which would make the chord a C sharp 7 or a C sharp dominant 7. So instead of barring the D, G, and the B strings, we're actually going to play this. So our first finger is on the 4th fret of the A string, our 3rd finger is on the 6th fret of the D string, and with our first finger, which is barring that 4th fret, we're going to be playing the 4th fret on the G string, and then our 4th finger will be on the 6th fret of the B string. And we're just going to play that 4 times and then cut it off. And again. And then to our G sharp major chord. Back to our C sharp 7. And then we go up to our D sharp major chord and we just go. So altogether that bridge section sounds like this. Okay, immediately after the bridge section, it goes to this sort of down, I guess, verse or chorus section that is the same sort of structure as the rest of the song, but the chords differ a little bit. So firstly, we're going to do our G sharp, just like before. And do that run up to the C. But this time, instead of a C minor chord, we're going to play a C7 chord. So that C sharp 7 that we did in that bridge, we're going to shift that down 1 fret, half a step, to C. And this time when we hit our C7, we're not going to do the bass notes twice and then the rest of the chord. We're actually going to strum it as soon as we get onto it. And I'll show you what that sounds like. You can hammer on from the 3rd fret with your 1st finger, barred, to the 5th fret with your 4th finger. As a little embellishment there. Then we're going to move up to our C sharp major. And instead of doing a run after it going C sharp, D sharp, F, we're just going to play G, G, and then a C sharp minor chord, which is the same as the C minor we did before and the F minor that we did before, but starting on the 4th fret on C sharp being C sharp minor. And while we're on that C sharp minor chord, we're not going to hit any bass notes and do any palm muting. All we're going to do is strum through the strings from the A string through just 1 time. Altogether, that little down section after the bridge sounds like this. And then after that, we just go back into, I guess, the normal chords, the A section that we learnt. That is How to Play Stuck With You by Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber. I hope you learned something. I hope this helped. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions or you want some clarification on anything. Or just if you want to let me know what you thought of the video, say hi. I love reading the comments and replying to comments. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you can be notified when I'm posting more videos. And with that out of the way, enjoy the rest of your day, your night, your week, whatever's going on. And I'll see you in the next one.